Anna.
I'm Ben.
We're AutoSave. Welcome to our
Today
channel.
we're watching Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, episode 35. Let's show Sloth the Brig's way. I'm excited to see it. I don't have much faith that it will end Sloth's life at the moment. I could see him retreating, going back to work, digging. I don't necessarily see him, combusting in a lust sort of way.
I would agree with you. I mean, obviously, we're looking for something stronger than fire. We're bringing in something stronger than fire. But yet, I also can see Sloth just going back down in a hole and digging away.
Yep. We also got to see Fallman last episode and his very strenuous pursuit to the top. He definitely hasn't lost any of his motivation or will. And also got a little bit of Major Miles, who seems like an incredible character, and I hope we get to see more of him maybe this episode. You ready?
Yep.
Sweet. I've caught you singing this song multiple times throughout this past week. The shape of this country. Look at that eyebrow.
Into the elevator. We're really driving it into the elevator. Literally.
It's pushing back. Oh my god! Her foot on his head. Okay.
I was gonna say, what if it doesn't work for a second?
Not yet. What have we prepared?
I'm asking the same thing.
Buccaneer. Nice. Suplex. Holy shit! Yes!
Yeah!
Use the icicles!
Stronger than fire! Oh.
Oh shit.
Cold.
Really? Nice! I love the wind blowing their hair.
Works better for you, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
She knows you know now.
The idea that we're forcing them to help,
Mhm.
it's almost a form of protection for them.
Huh.
おはよう、兄さん。
仲間を守ってくれたんだってね。
Aww.
サンキュー。百戦図。
俺じゃねえのかよ。
あとマイルズ少佐は病院だ。
Wait, why?
スカーとやり合って怪我した軍人の。
Oh.
スカーが来たに。
仲間が命拾いしたよ。
あんたら結束固いっつうか仲間思いだな。
俺たちブリッグズ兵は一枚岩よ。仲間を助けてくれたお前も
No.
仲間だ。
じゃあその仲間を早くここから。
そいつはできない相談だ。
確かに一枚岩だ。
事故現場からスカーの死体は発見されなかったそうだ。
Is it Kimberly?
付近に
Oh.
潜伏している可能性がある。
ええ。
Interesting sending Miles there
I
to
know.
このタイ
Kimberly.
ミングで白黒猫に加えてスカーの捜索とは。
待ちなさい。
ん？
あなた方は引っ込んでいてください。イシュバール人は私の獲物です。
残 残念ながら殺人鬼をのさばらせておくほどブリッグズの兵はぬるくない。
は
ここの掟は弱肉強食。油断すればやられる。わかるか？舐めた口聞いていると二度と退院できなくなる。
Holy shit!
貴様の面倒はブリッグズ支部が見ることになっている。おとなしくしていろ。
How is this going to be received?
イシュバール人はやはり面白い。
キンベリー、大丈夫かね。
これはお早いお月で、レイブン中将。
知らせを聞いてすっ飛んできたよ。心
Bradley.
配で心配で。
あなたが心配しているのはこれでしょう。
よろしい。では仕事だ。
To work.
しかし私はご覧の通り。
錬金術を使える医者を連れてきた。そして石がある。あっという間に全開だよ。
Do you fuck with gold teeth?
特にこの龍脈とやらがよくわかる。
Dragon Pulse business.
大地の木のことですよ。
大地の
The
木。
land.
Whoa.
簡単に言うと、山の頂から噴出した後、地下へと入り、土地を潤していく力です。
Show me.
大地の中を流れる力の川とでも言いましょうか。これは万物に応用できる力なんですよ。例えば、腰、
足が。
あるいは肩。
首を押されて何
シャオメイ
で衝撃が。
マルコーさん、体を大切にね。
Did
あち
Xiao
こ
Mei
ち
see it as
力
a
が
threat?
及んでますよ。
なるほど。これが遠隔連星の理
Remote
屈か。
transmutation.
それを使うのがこの国の錬金術だ。
でも違うんですよ。この国に入ってから感じていた違和感。
Yeah.
セントラルの地下ではっきりしたんですけど、地殻運動のエネルギーというより、
Is it like completely manufactured from
た
father?
くさんの人
A
が
lot of people under the ground.
Yeah.
Fullmetal
The
Alchemist.
same thing she said when she was in Central.
Fullmetal Alchemist.
これほどの仕込みに気づかず侵入を許すと
It's hard to account for underground.
ことはなかったんですか。私が着任してからはな。
Whew.
ただ20年近く前に
Okay.
に山岳警備兵が襲われる事件があった。謎の女に1ヶ月食料や装備を奪われ続けた。
Izumi?
She fought a bunch of bears!
That's incredible.
That's so good.
ここなら人目を気にすることはない。貴様らが知っていることを全部話せ。今度こそ全てだ。
Looks like we have Fallman
隠
with
し
us,
立て
right?
はするな。察してくれと。それすなわち、私が察してくれると信じての言葉。切り捨てられてもおかしくないあの局面で、貴様はあえてその言葉を絞り出した。
There was
自分
trust
の
there.
命に変えても守らねばならんもの。例えば人質。力を貸してほしい。賢者の石、ホムンクルス、キングブラッドレイ、お父様と呼ばれる男、幼なじみのオートメール技師にマスタングの部下。東方司令部とはよく合同訓練をしていたから、ホークアイやハボックは知っているぞ。失うには惜しい奴ら
I
だ。
love that she knows them.
なんとかしたいな。
マスタング大佐は
Maybe she hates him.
ああ、でもいい。いっそとっとと失脚してくれればライバルが減ってせいせいする。
Another, he's a rival.
それより
I didn't know he was laying tracks
こ
too.
のトンネルはおそらくドラクマから掘られたものじゃない。ファルマン少尉、国内であった流血を伴う大きな事件ってわかるかな。
流血？それが何か。
Ishval.
1661年10月。
Thank God we have Fallman here.
1811年3月。ウェルズリー事件。1835年10月。第一次南部国境戦は隣国クレタとの戦いで兵がかなり死んでる。そして1914年ディオールの暴動、死者多数だ。
暴動ってどうして？すぐ東方司令部に報告してよな。
中央軍だよ。奴らが出張ってきて東方軍をお払い箱にしたんだ。その後だ、ディオールがめちゃくちゃになったの。
That's so fucking defeating. Like,
作業を続けろ、鋼の。
なんてことだ。大 介護研究所の地下にあったという錬成人とそっくりじゃないか。
人の命を使うという賢者の石の陣か。こんな巨大なもので石を作ったら一体何人が犠牲になるんだ。この国を使って賢者の石を作ろうとしているのかといい線いってるとね。以前私はエドワード君に君なら真実の奥のさらなる真実に気づくだろうと言った。さらなる真実とは国土全部を使っての賢者の石の錬成。
The entire nation's territory, but that's not the end of it.
君が探している不老不死の方も。だから賢者の石に求めてはいけない。私の知識と君の練炭術の知識とで何としてもこの研究所を読み解こう。
一番古いのは1558年。アメストリス建国後すぐだな。
宣戦布告なしに当時隣国だったリビエアに戦争をふっかけ。ちょっと待て、これは全ての事件に軍が関係している。中央軍が出てきてことを大きくしている。
建国の時から、我が国は初め領土の小さな国だったが周囲の小国を併合しながら広がってきた。この円を作り出すため。
That conquering was to
こ
create
の国を利
the
用して
circle.
何かをしようとしているのではなく何かをするために
They created this country to do something.
我が国を。
My country.
じゃあヒューズさんは
に軍法会議所勤務だったから軍の事件を調べるのに事欠かない。この国がおかしいってことにいち早く気づいて。
軍の犬、国家錬金術師よ。お前はこの国が何をしようとしているのか知っているのか。
今の繁栄が自分たちの力だけで成し遂げられたと思っているのか。
知れば私のやろうとしていることがわかるはずだ。
気に入らんぞ。これを見る限り次に血を見るのは残っているのはこのブリッグズ周辺だけではないか。セントラルの奴ら私の城で何をしようとしている。
The family, basically.
すぐにお戻りください。セントラルのレイブン中将がお見えになっています。
Oh no.
考える間も与えてくれんか。あなたに頼みたいことがある。レイブン中将に鎌かけてみてくれないか。
Information out of him?
アームストロング少将はすぐに戻ります。どうぞこちらへ。
ああ、そうだ。客人を連れてきた。マイルズ少佐、彼に砦の中を見せてやってくれないか。
よろしく、マイルズ少佐。
I hate this.
I hate that, especially.
アップルパイ。でももうそんなこと考えてるだけじゃダメなのかもしれないね。
体を取り戻してこの国で好き放題やらかそうとしてる奴らに吠え面かかせてやったらな。
Damn, Al hasn't been the same since his hair got messed up.
敵の襲撃を受けまして
Losing his hair made him lose all hope.
なんとか撃退しましたが
Did you see the recorder?
これがまあいわゆる化け物というやつで私はドラクマの生物兵器だと睨んでいるんですがエルリック兄弟がたまたま鋼の錬金術師とその弟を保護したのです。化け物について何か知ってる風なのですが何も喋らない。大総統府直轄の国家錬金術師がドラクマのスパイであっては大問題ですから牢につないでおきました。取り調べなさいますか。
何も喋らないのだな。
ええ。ここに来た目的も生体錬成の研究がどうのとなんとも歯切れが悪く怪しいことこの上ない。拷問してでも吐かせようかと思いましたが私も女の端くれあんな子供をいたぶるなんて心が痛んでとてもとても。
いいね。心臓まで氷でできている女王様が
私も本来なら子供の一人や二人はいてもおかしくない年なのですがすっかり生き遅れてしまいまして全く年は取りたくないものですね。
Olivier.
私は老いが恐ろしい。
Almost putting it on a platter for him to offer to her to join their
あれは
side.
素晴らしい体を持っていました。不死身の体。夢のようではありませんか。
夢でない日が近づいていると言ったらどうするね。なあ少々完全な不死の軍団に興味はないか。
食らいついた。
It's good bait for her to put out.
Are we ending here? Oh my god.
She's willing to do whatever she can to get as much as she can for her defense.
She said my country.
Yeah. Okay, that was Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, episode 35. What an episode. We got so much.
We did. That often is how these episodes feel, is that we get a lot and or we get something that feels huge. Like a huge deal. This is a big deal.
So, obviously we got revelations and information about the information about the huge transmutation circle that is being made around this entire country, right? Mm-hmm. But that's something that we've talked about potentially being the case. One of the big things that we got in this episode that really interested me was Mei Chang's reaction to Dr. Marco talking about the differences between alchemy and alkahestry. So I love alkahestry. I love that it's healing oriented. I love that we were given terms like Dragon Pulse and how that was connected to the chi of the land, right? Mm-hmm. How remote transmutation works and everything, it kind of all falls into this natural type of place for me that makes a lot of just like organic sense. I don't know if that's because I have done a lot of reading in culture that's influenced like chi and life energy within anime like Dragon Ball, you know, or manga like Dragon Ball, but it really speaks to me. However, the opposite applies to me for alchemy at the moment, and I felt like Mei Chang's explanation, or not explanation, just suspicion validated that feeling for me. The idea of it being used by using the Earth's tectonic plates, that's fine. That makes sense, and I like that. But there being that weird, like, I don't know, there's something else there.
This isn't like the ground shifting here. This isn't natural feeling.
Yeah, and that immediately connects to me with Father and how he was able to shut off not just Ed and Al's ability to use alchemy, but seemingly everybody in the vicinity.
You're creating unnatural ground. Like, here is two people talking about how alchemists and people that use alkahestry both utilize the ground, but in separate ways, the land, but in separate ways. It goes with what we learn further on, is this country isn't being used. It was created.
It was founded
to be what it is. The founding stones of it, the ground itself.
And if that's the case, we could be selling the idea of us using tectonic plates to use alchemy, but it could be a slight deviation to that, right? If the tectonic plates were built upon by Father, or like influenced on before everybody else learned alchemy, then he might have a foundation over the existing foundation that everybody's alchemy is being built on. Therefore, he can control whether it's on or off.
Mm-hmm. The idea of there's so many people underground, that being what Mei Chang first kind of told us when she was going to go underground, and she was really freaked out by what she was sensing and what she was feeling. There's different ways that you can obviously read that. It's like, okay, well, does she physically mean that there's a lot of people who have been morphed into these like a chimera or something else?
Can I give you my interpretation?
Yeah.
So it's like being rooted again from Dr. Marco. I know that you had written it down, but the whole conversation of truths within a truth and what the truth was and which truth was which, I think that the language being so heavily implied of humans being a one-for-one to Philosopher's Stone, I think that using the power of the Philosopher's Stone and that power and energy being widespread would like convert equally to the feeling of there being humans there.
It affects a lot of things affect nature itself. Like nature can reclaim on top of human-made objects out in the wild, but we can also do human-made damage to nature and change landscapes dramatically, change the soil composition even, like depending on what happens, and or like create like radiation within it, you know, within the ground itself. There's radiation. So I feel like I could read this as similar, is that the ground itself is affected in a similar way that I would see like the ground from like a nuclear site.
Yeah. Interesting. Do you think that will be used again? It has to be, right?
Oh, shutting alchemy off completely?
Yeah.
Well, why else would you? I mean, it's a safety zone, basically. you're ensuring that when the time comes, no one can stop you from enacting this circle.
Yeah.
Because you're able to probably shut it off for the entire country of Mestris.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if what we're going to be able to do specifically, like Ed and Al, to be able to combat that, is it using or trying to understand alchemy? Is that inevitably going to be it?
It has to be, like, but still, like, I'm still wondering what it is that, in my mind, I obviously am being told that they're different and what they're kind of channeling within the land itself is different. But it's still hard for me to completely wrap my head around why one could be used and one couldn't be used in an instance, like how alchemy could still be used.
See, no, that's my point. Like that's I feel like the idea that one of them is using the chi of the land and then the other one is being used off of the foundation that Father built is enough of an explanation.
Yeah, okay. No, I get you.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, the whole reason we're here to begin with is to find Mei Chang.
Yeah.
And get some explanations on alchemy and how it works, because we've already realized that might be our only fighting chance.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for however that interaction will inevitably go. I feel like we can speak on that right now because we have both the brothers and Mei Chang in this episode, and I feel like we will have an interaction with them hopefully in the future. And I'm excited to see what they talk about, how that plays out, how Mei Chang interacts with both of them, what she might even be willing or unwilling to say depending on how she feels about them and how she feels about Scar and like where she lays in this climate.
Yeah. I imagine that once, Olivier continues to sell this character that she's playing, we might have a little bit of a break at Briggs. So within that timeline, hopefully we can try to meet up and a survey squad that Briggs, sends out could find them and track them down.
Only a little bit of a break though, because we're realizing this is the last spot, that there needs to be a huge amount of bloodshed, and that Central is then going to come in and make it worse. Are we inviting invasion by Drachma? Are we inviting a war against Drachma?
If we expect Sloth to join the battle at some point again, it would make sense if the battle was here, because Sloth is now frozen in the cold weather climate blended fuel, Like, I don't know if he could wake up or get out any other way unless he had assistance from, like, Kimberly or one of the other Sins or Bradley.
Mm-hmm. Which I definitely, before this episode, in terms of how we were going to take down Sloth and stop his body function, this is not where my mind went, and I feel a little silly that I didn't even think about how immensely freaking cold it is here, and how that not only affects the human body, but it affects the automail and the material that you make the automail out of.
Yeah.
My mind was like, oh, firepower, fuel. I wasn't
Napalm,
going like the fuel,
more heat.
The fuel was gonna zap the heat from inside his body even.
Yeah.
Like, my brain didn't go there, and I feel so silly that it didn't.
It needed to be a narrative through line with icicles. Obviously, Fallman had, put it on a tee. We're playing T-ball, and Fallman gave us the icicle through line, and that happened. But honestly,
he's the one that shot down the icicles, which is like...
Yeah, I know, it's perfect. But we got a shot from of Olivier when the elevator doors opened that was fucking crazy. I just wanted to show love to that because it's amazing.
I bet she still has her foot on the back of that guy's head.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I
agree.
We can't see in the tank, but like that's what I'm imagining.
We get the idea that she knows of like Hawkeye and is
Havoc,
and Havoc, and they're like, we don't want to lose those. Does she know if
she doesn't know that Havoc's kind of not fighting right now?
But she also has strong opinions about not giving a shit about Roy Mustang. It's another rival,
but that says something too. She views him as a rival, which like someone like this is not going to use that word lightly.
Yeah.
So props to Roy Mustang. He's obviously well recognized, and I love that she has a respect and care for his men as well. Because you would think that she built this kind of community where like it's a monolith, She of course has care for the people that are under her supervision, but it seems like we really get a picture of her. She doesn't just care about power and strength and being able to rule this citadel, as she calls it. she cares about the country as a whole and the military personnel that she's especially personally met and has respect for as a whole.
Yeah.
I love her.
I also love what we got of Xiaomei this episode. It seemed like she was very territorial, or jealous of the mud sculpture, so she attacked it. Or she was hungry. That could be it too.
So are you trying to say that they are cannibalistic bear cats?
I don't know.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Maybe. Could be. I don't know enough about their...
I don't know enough about that species.
Their eating habits, yeah.
Their eating habits.
One of my favorite things we got this episode was the idea that 20 years ago there was one person who managed to impregnate or get through this wall, right? And it was Izumi, and that was fantastic.
The fact that we get the idea from her that it's that she fought off a bunch of bears.
Yeah.
It's another one of those things that I'm like, just like the cold in this episode, where I'm like, gosh darn it, why didn't I think of that comparison once we got Olivier kind of like with a bear, you know, kind of comparison between the two of them. Why didn't my brain go there? You know, darn it.
Yeah. I liked having Fallman here, not just for like a through line, but he genuinely helped us piece things together with his historical knowledge.
He was also backup in terms of credibility.
Yeah.
Because he is one of Roy Mustang's men, so that definitely helps, especially if she has a lack of respect for her rival and a respect for her rival's men. Fallman being there and kind of also agreeing with if the brothers were here by themselves and they were saying things that are obviously wild and crazy, it might have taken like maybe a little bit more time, or it wouldn't have been as convincing. Not saying she wouldn't have believed them, but I feel like it's definitely a bigger sell when there's maybe an adult in the military that she has had interactions with in the past and knows their commanding officer and their friends that they work with.
I just love that we're not forgetting about Hughes. Like we're realizing like, oh shit, yup, this is exactly why he got killed when he did. He was around all the information that he needed to, and he's inquisitive enough that he's trying to find the answer for it, and he has all the information in front of him, unlike everybody else. He's putting it together this way. That explains it.
His job specifically he had is what made him kind of the most vulnerable to attack, because he was the most equipped to figure things out as soon as he did. Obviously, it's kind of fun that we're figuring out what he had figured out all those episodes ago, and I feel like this episode has another instance of that we are figuring out something that someone else meant or someone else figured out so many episodes ago. We have it 3 times. It's the Dr. Marco, the truth within the truth interaction. We're finally figuring out what Dr. Marco meant by that. And then obviously, like you said, the map with Hughes, we're finally figuring out what literally probably was the exact thing that Hughes figured out that was the catalyst for his death. And then we get one of our first fights and interactions with a state alchemist that we had to fight. At the very beginning of the show.
Episode 1. Yeah. And another realization that we get within that same line of thinking, I wanted to bring up the actual lines because it was kind of heartbreaking to hear like Ed's learning about what happened to Lior after him and Al had left it.
Like, they shouldn't have left those people, but they would have never known that Central would have come in and made it worse.
To them, like everybody else, you figure that after you've cleaned that up, there's a process that exists to be able to go about it the right way to ensure that violence doesn't happen. And that trust is...
The people's trust was broken each time.
Yeah, Lior insurrection, but why? After I exposed the fake priest in Lior, I reported it to the Eastern Command Center right away, right? It was the Central Forces. They came in, sent the Eastern Forces away. After that, Lior went into pieces. That's so fucking sad, but...
It makes sense that Ed and Al wouldn't have known of this either, you know? Because of other people in the military. It's not just their maybe adult status or the fact that they're like a different age. It's not even about that. It's about their jobs specifically. Like Ed and Al, yes, they're state alchemists, but they're kind of allowed, yeah, while they're dogs of the military, they're kind of allowed to do their own thing. They don't have people that are working under them. They don't really have a position where they have to do paperwork for the military. They are kind of able to get this special watch and this title and run around and do whatever they want. So it makes sense that they're not really like up to date with every single thing that's happening within the military and within the country itself.
Yeah. My last thing for this episode is talking about how fucking awesome Major Miles is and how afraid I am.
That part.
So what I've brought up on screen that I think you were initially reacting to there a second ago.
That when I went like this and started covering my face. So
yeah, is his interaction with Kimberly when Kimberly's still in the hospital bed. And I loved this. He takes off his glasses, looks him in the eyes after we're already talking about Scar,
really
saying that the Briggs branch will be looking after your case now, and really putting him in his fucking place. But then we get Kimberly's twisted response of like, ooh, the Ishvalin are really interesting people, huh? They're really fascinating. And that fucks me up. Because now we have the two of them walking around Briggs together.
Like, basically probably alone.
And he's in his kill suit.
Is Raven doing that on purpose? Like, why else is Raven kind of setting Kimberly up to be alone with Miles other than... I don't know, because Raven's also here in a way that he wants to be kind of diplomatic. Like, he wants to be respectful and not, like, step on too many toes here to cause too much suspicion.
Yeah.
He wouldn't want to overuse any of his power in this situation.
What if, like, we have given Major Miles the mission to try to delay Kimberly so he, like, doesn't get a chance to interrogate the boys or some shit, or, like, snoop around himself, so we're trying to take him on, like, a long tour.
I wonder how much of their interaction we'll actually get to witness. I mean, especially because we've already said things to each other.
Dude, there's a potential for things to get really fucking dark in between a conversation between them.
Right, because we've already seen 5 seconds of a conversation between the two of them. We already took the step past small talk together, that whatever is going to come out of their mouths when they're walking around the halls here, I'm kind of, like, scared to witness it.
Yeah. Do you have anything else?
No, I think that's it.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and hope to see you next time.